Have you ever stopped and thought about how everyone has their own story? One thing I like to do when I meet new people is ask them, what is your story? It's an engaging question and I love it. And essentially that question, what is your story, is a request to hear about how people have interacted with life. Where have they been, what they've done, what they've experienced. It's fascinating to me how much the past influences who we are today. I've thought it really strange that someone could have a good family, parents together, they love each other, the great perfect picture of a family, and then makes all these horrible decisions and goes off the rails. I don't understand. Then you have the complete opposite scenario where you have someone who's got a bad family. Maybe their parents are separated or their dad's never been in the picture or ravaged by poor decisions, and you think everything in the world is against this person and them succeeding, and then they become really successful and influential. This surprises me because in my mind, life has a way of replicating itself. What we grew up with influences and molds us into who we will be. Good or bad doesn't matter. It has a way of shaping us. However, what you have seen before does not have to define you. What has been done to you does not have to define who you are. And what you have done doesn't have to define who you are. Listen, we can allow things to become our identity, but that doesn't have to be. There's another choice. If you look in the Bible, we all have our favorite Bible stories. Stories of love, hope, war, anguish. The Bible is full of individual stories, but it's the ultimate telling of one story. It's a story of hope. In the beginning was God, and God creates man, and man betrays the perfection that he's offered, but that doesn't stop there. It could stop there. It could be God's done. I'm finished. You messed up. Go off and do your own thing. But it doesn't stop there. We see the beauty of that story as it moves forward with redemption. How are we redeemed? And we're redeemed through the beauty of the Son of God who is sent to give us a new story. It's because of Jesus that we're able to be a different story, different than the one we emerged from, and even different than the one we're in now. 2 Corinthians 5:17 says, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old is gone and the new has come. There's beauty in that. Because of Christ, we've been made brand new. We are pulled out of what we once were and giving a whole new story. We get to be a different story because of Christ. I have a friend of mine who, growing up, he thought that this particular man was his father. And when he went off to college, that man betrayed him by stealing his identity. And he went back to talk to his mom about that whole situation, only to find out that that wasn't even his dad. He struggled with that for a little while. Who wouldn't struggle with that, right? Part of the struggle there was trying to figure out how to forgive. Romans 12:2 says, do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. What happened with my friend was God transformed his mind. God transformed the way he thought about this man who was his acting father. And he realized because Christ has forgiven him completely, he in turn should offer who he thought was his dad the same thing that was given to him: forgiveness. I had another friend who, before the age of 10, his family went through 3 divorces. And even another friend who spent 7 years struggling with drug addiction. See, all 3 of these situations could potentially birth horrible lives, continual addiction, continual separation. But in all 3 of those situations, God came in and intervened. God came in and transformed the way they thought about those things, giving them a new picture, a new way to process life. And in that, they were able to be a different story. All of life is a story. Everyone's story is unique, some full of hope, some full of hurt. Some full of success, some full of failure. We may not recognize it, but all of these things impact and mold who we are. We've all endured pain. We've all endured hurt, and we've all felt love. The beauty is the story that Christ wants to tell through us. When we recognize that it's never too late, we can embrace the truth that through him we can be a different story.